What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and this is the TokuBrew podcast. This week in Toku, constantly changing the names, we have with me, as always, is my lovely, competitory, would probably, I don't know. I lost the joke.
I'd win in Mario Kart. I don't know.
Hey, we're even matching Mario Kart. Thank you.
I'm pretty good at Mario Kart.
I'm pretty good at Mario Kart.
I'm pretty good at Mario Kart. I'm Stormy. Hi.
I'll let you have this one. On the podcast.
Yeah, well, you know where I also have it? On the racetracks.
Oh, we'll see. Are we talking about, like, the arcade Mario Party? Or, like...
I mean, I win it no matter what, so... I'm pretty good at Mario Party.
Have you ever played with my sister?
I don't think I have, actually.
No, we've played a couple times.
I feel like we're very off track.
Well, off track? Okay.
Probably terrible.
Alright. So...
Mamma mia.
Oh my god. So this week...
So Toku.
So this week in Toku, we obviously now have our 3 flagship shows, which are Kamen Rider Geats, Ultraman Decker, and Avataro Sentai Dawn Brothers. I don't always say the names of these shows, but here we are. And much like last week, we will be doing them in the same order. So we are starting off with Decker. Opening thoughts?
Real improvement. Again, I feel like
that last episode, we were just...
I feel like we were really disappointed.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the episode before it, we really liked it.
Yeah, again, it just kind of like fell flat. I wonder if it was Triggers Riders.
Which we didn't even hate Triggers.
I really don't dislike Trigger.
But it's like, I don't even dislike those episodes. I was just kind of like,
it just kind of fell flat
okay.
on its face. It's like, I feel like I had a lot of build-up and then not a lot of
Because even if it was bad, at least that would make me mad. I'm just more like, why did we even do this?
Just like, god damn it. But this one was a big improvement. I really enjoyed this episode. This is up there with the Ella King episode.
Yeah, and it's in bringing up the Ella King episode.
It's very similar, actually.
Well, yeah, because this just brings up another example of the spheres affecting people on Earth, whether it be aliens or...
That got stuck.
Yeah, like that gets stuck, yeah.
Yeah, I like how consistent they've been with this premise of just...
You can't leave.
The sphere is just affecting just everybody. The people, the aliens that were just, like, popping in and, like, as, like, a... Can you imagine, like, getting stuck at a rest stop? Like...
Oh, yeah, like, could you imagine if we went to, like
if we were on a road trip and we just kind of got stuck at a gas station for 10 years? That would suck!
Yeah. Could you imagine...
7-Eleven, you're just living off of hot dogs and nachos.
You live at the AM PM and work at the AM PM because there's nothing else you can do.
But and then also the kaiju and the monsters.
Yeah, the Grigor monster,
yeah.
Which this had almost a very similar thing in like because Grigor, or this one's name was Grace. I think it's like called Grigor Grace or something like that. But and if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry because I can't remember how it's exactly pronounced, but like it was a Dynamonster, which I think they took the monster, the monster idea, like of this like champion, like
wrestler.
Always like wanting to. Well, the wrestler part wasn't a part of it in Dyna.
Really?
He was just like this strong warrior, and he went to go fight a bunch of other fierce warriors. But this time they didn't.
But he also like brings swords down to form a ring, and was doing like the thing where he like cups his ears and like tries to get a crowd like chanting for him.
Yeah,
like a wrestler.
Yeah, no, it's like he's very showboaty, and which it was really cool because I wasn't expecting the swords to actually just come flying down in this episode. That was amazing.
Okay, but we gotta talk about like this opening of just like this like kid like coming up
blackmailing Kanata
and just being like, I know you're Ultraman. Here's some proof, and he's like, fuck.
And then you had to ask the question of how many times this actually could happen.
Yeah, because it's like I feel like I've always questioned like what if someone was just looking in that direction, you know? And this kind of answer that I'm just like, yeah, you could just take a picture, you know?
Yeah, it's one of my
And
favorite instances of somebody taking a picture of somebody mid-transformation. My favorite one still is the one from Orb where he transformed in a photo booth and he kept trying to, and it was like in the first or second episode.
Oh yeah, I think I
Like, you remember
this.
you needed to try to yank him out? It just looks like he's trying to fucking fight it, like he's gonna murder somebody.
We had a funny back and forth because like when she comes up to him with the picture, she's like, "I want you to fight my dad," but for whatever reason, my brain was gonna be like, "You have to go on a date with me." And you're like,
Which
"No,
that happens all the
and
time.
then you would reply with like, "Nah, it's for her dad," and I was like, "Go on a date with my dad," like the natural progression.
Yeah, you know, when your dad's so low on the totem pole.
But no, he's actually like this.
Like cosmic wrestler.
Yeah, he's basically Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball.
Well, yeah,
Kinda
they even said he was like a martial arts master.
Yeah,
It's
world
very
champion.
Mr. Satan, but you know, probably good.
I love the relationship between he and his daughter.
That was really
Yeah.
cute.
And we get like this story of like, oh yeah, they were just kind of coming through here so that he could maybe like, because he had heard about Trigger.
Well, an ancient ultra.
Yeah, Trigger. Like,
Yeah,
he
it's
heard
Trigger.
that he was here. It's like, oh, maybe I could go there and fight him and get some, a little bit more credibility. Like I can go and,
Yeah.
and like, you know,
In the day,
kindle some stuff. Like it.
yeah,
get some
but the
eyes
day,
on me.
yeah, but the day they
And
came
then the
here, it was
spheres
peaceful.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah,
peaceful by the time they got
so-
here.
so
and
he
then
was
the
like-
spheres attacked and they were stuck.
Which I think I really do appreciate. He was just like, I was just gonna leave. Like him and his daughter were like, yeah, we were just gonna leave because it was peaceful. Like you know what I mean? So it's like they weren't. It's like, so they weren't gonna cause havoc just so he could fight. Like
Yeah.
like I said, so it's like, again, they took Grigor from Dinah, but instead of making him like an asshole, they just kept the part that he's like a cosmic wrestler, I guess. And
Flip the rest on.
yeah,
him
and like,
almost.
and it's like now he's a good guy. He has a kid.
And the relationship between him and his kid is honestly great. Like he even like rips up the picture
Of yeah,
of
of Kanata.
I almost said Dinah of Decker.
Yeah.
Just to be like, I didn't raise you to be a blackmailer. And then like this kid, like you would expect like a kid about this age to be like, oh my gosh, Dad, you're so embarrassing. You're so old. You can't fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
and he's like,
instead,
I'll
she's
prove
just,
it
like,
to
his
her.
number one cheerleader.
Yeah, and it was amazing. And like, and this was also a really good thing. Like, we open up and, oh my god, I still don't know her fucking name. Was just like getting on Decker, like main girl, Ella King's best friend. Like she was just like, hey, why are you so chill, Kanata? She's just like, what the fuck? Nothing's going on. She's like, exactly. Make sure nothing keeps going on. He's just like, eh.
Yeah,
And then he gets blackmailed.
Yeah. But
But yeah, no. And then we get to like the captain. Like the
Yeah.
captain and him are going to get groceries. And like,
no, that's later.
oh, is that later?
Yeah.
But either way, yeah. So like,
But no, that's when the Red Queen.
yeah, I think it's a female Red King.
Yeah.
Um,
That shows up, and then he actually is like, you know what? I could also just fight this monster, and then he like gets all big. He has his robe. He does his introduction, and then he starts to fight the Red King.
yeah.
And then like I think it's later when we see the sphere version, right?
Yeah, that's at the final part.
Yeah. But
Which
yeah,
is
and
that
then
the same
they
Red
just
King?
kind
Who
of-
knows?
we actually don't see a whole lot of like Decker, like the Ultraman himself in this. It's actually mostly
Grace.
It's actually mostly Grace and Guts.
Yeah, like he did
Which-
show
which
up in
sounds
final
like a weird
for
metal band.
like. Oh wait, but he did use
Grace and
Wyndham.
Guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did use Wyndham to help like
To like push back
Red King.
Red King. Yes, that was his name. Their name, her.
It doesn't matter.
But like, yeah. So we got to see Wyndham. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's a little bit of a Zet reference, you know, because they had a Red King little arc in there. Definitely a little different than, you know, killing it, but, you know, what are you gonna do? But, yeah. Also, you find out in this the commander fucking cooks all of the meals for the Guts Select members.
I don't know. So everyone needs a hobby.
Hey,
Probably just out
I'm
of
not...
the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, this is just a likable guy.
Yeah, I really like the character that the commander is turning out to be.
Yeah.
Because, you know, easily these captain characters are usually just kind of hard asses or you know, it's like, oh, they have to follow everything by the books, but he just kind of seems to be a person first and a commander second, rather than the other way around. And it just really shows, like, he has a lot of compassion. He's more than willing to, like, be flexible on rules when it comes to what he thinks is right, and just helping keep people happy, you know, just even if they aren't humans.
Well, yeah, and it's like, and I like how he's willing to help, Grace, like, you know, do his thing and everything.
Like, because they have, like, a meeting and everything after the Red King is defeated. And, like, that's kind of like when they learn what's going on.
Oh, yeah, they were just surviving off bread.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's later.
No,
you keep jumping ahead. This is because I don't know.
Oh, you're right.
God.
I keep forgetting about the montage. I'm sorry.
Montage. I haven't even gotten to the point of why there's a montage yet.
You're right. Keep going.
Jesus, you're like 4 conversations ahead of me already.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so they have the meeting with the guy. They all learn what's up, and they're like, "Yeah, we can help you out, dude." And he's like, "Yeah, because you guys are Earth's best or whatever. So I want to fight you guys. I want to fight Guts. Like, he doesn't even want to fight Decker.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna fight their ships.
Yeah, and he was like, you know what? Both of us want to give absolutely everything. So
because they also needed to test. They also wanted to test the Guts Griffin because they were trying to upgrade.
Yeah, they want all thing to test each other.
Well, yeah, so it's
that's when we see them training, and that's when they go grocery shopping, and we see him with a bunch of stuff, and then, like, we see the kid again.
By the way, we're gonna need a montage. So.
But, and then that's when we see that she's just like, oh, yeah, I have all these, like, free bread scraps, and, like, he's like, you can't live off that. I'm gonna go and cook you guys dinner, and they all have
that's where you find out about him cooking dinner for all of Guts. Which, again, just amazing. Also, him in that apron. His weird apron.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the weird apron. I don't know, like, what kind of Sanrio kind of, like, outfit that he has on, but it's, like, so cutesy, and it threw me off.
I was about to say, I wasn't expecting to need to get a screenshot of it, but I guess I do now, because we're talking about it. But, overall, this was a really wholesome episode.
This was really
like,
nice.
It turned, like, almost like an asshole alien into kind of a really good, humble alien. And I kind of love that Ultraman likes to do this from time to time. Like, they'll take different kaiju from their lexicon and just, like, turn their ideas on their head. Like, Zet had the whole thing with the Red Kings and its baby. Bad. And you know what I mean?
It's kind of nice that they've been doing that pretty consistently, rather than just like, oh, it's Ella King and that's it.
Well, yeah.
But now it's like, oh, it's Ella King and now it's also Grace, and I wonder if this is going to be a
recurring
thing.
Yeah, I about to say, I think we were both guessing like near the ending, because like we also have to mention that like his health is apparently going in the pooper.
Oh yeah,
he's like dying the whole time.
Soon.
Yeah, he just says he's gonna die soon, which broke my heart. We have visitors. We have visitors, and we gotta take a quick cut. Sorry for the interruption, but obviously you could hear that we got our dogs.
Yeah, our dogs decided to say hello.
Yeah, exactly, and they decided they weren't going to be quiet, and I thought that'd be rude to record it the whole time, because that just.
You may hear our
the other
recurring co-host in the background, Maggie. She's just chilling over there. Don't mind.
Yeah. The Luna did not want to be tame.
Yeah, she came in like a hurricane. She was ready
to
talk.
back to Decker. So we were talking about Grace's terrible health because because he said of all the fighting and everything.
Yeah, the fighting in his youth.
Yeah, the lexicon of his youth. But like at the end, they like you think he's gonna die, and you're just like no.
You're already you forgot like the Sphere Red King that shows up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because like it's like in the middle of because he says like I want to impress my kid to the very end, and I'm gonna die soon. I don't want you guys to hold back whatsoever. And they're all just like, yeah, man, we respect you.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do it, and he's in the thing, and they're gonna fight, and they start fighting and everything, and then like the Red King that's like mixed with the Sphere shows up.
Yeah, and that's like where the only reason I was mentioning what I was saying, I wasn't even meaning that, where it's like, when he's giving that monologue and they're telling him to do their best, it's like you get that sinking feeling, you're like, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
You're just like, he's gonna die. That's not okay. And so, like you said, and then so the Sphere Red King comes down. So you double down on that feeling of like, oh fuck, he's gonna die.
Yeah,
Oh
and then of
shit.
course, like when everyone's just like, oh, because Decker shows up and he's trying to be
Helpful.
cool and helpful and be like, I'll take this Red King.
Yeah, he
you
took
guys
the Red
finish
King.
Your fight, which works for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like things start to go bad, and he's just like, hey, you guys win. I'm gonna go and help Decker.
Yeah, I concede.
I concede. You guys win. And then he goes and he's helping out Decker, and then eventually they're about to freaking blast this.
Well, yeah.
Blast this bitch into the next century.
And he's just like, I'll full Nelson him.
Yeah,
Fire at me like Raditz.
Yeah, because like they couldn't get a clear shot and they didn't want to shoot Decker, so he like yeets Decker out of there and then grabs it itself. Is like, shoot the thing and me. And they're like, okay.
And there was just like the commander was just like, I understand.
I feel like it's how it's presented.
It was really nice.
Sign of respect.
Us saying,
sign
like,
of like,
yeah,
I understand what you're trying to do.
yeah.
You know?
We're not giving it enough credit. Which again, it was a really good episode.
This was a good episode. I would highly suggest you guys going and watching this one.
Yeah. Fun fact though, to bring up the actor for Grace's human form, I don't think he did the suit work for this, but he was the old suit actor for both. I think he suit acted for Dinah, but mostly Tiga. Like,
yeah, I think
he was
also,
Tiga.
He was Dark Tiga too.
He was Dark Tiga, yeah.
I think he had like a few other things.
Yeah, he had a couple others. Like, you could like just go check it out. Like,
I think he did a couple monsters.
so yeah, like just look up the actor and see what else.
He's a good ultimate suit actor.
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of cool to like see that where it's like because
I always love it when shows give the people that you don't usually see a chance.
Oh, yeah.
In the spotlight.
Yeah, like
for a minute.
well, it's like in that Birth of Chimera special when Seiji Takaiwa was like the one guy's dad.
Yeah.
So like it's cool to see that kind of stuff.
But they of course Decker starts to fire at it. He pulls a MacGuffin. And
he pulls out his sword.
And he uses like I think the monsters and the robots in his mantra to like.
Yeah, he used the monsters.
Move Grace out of the way last second.
Well,
like, with the fire or something like that.
Well, like he MacGuffined with his sword. He scanned the monster cards and it beamed the magic fucking them over, like somehow because it was like, oh yeah, you did a trio, you did a triple scan,
triple kill.
And yeah, so like they move him out of the way, which again, that was a good episode. I feel like that we didn't give it enough credit, but like that was
again. I feel like there's not a whole lot to like.
There's not a lot to linger on.
Deeply discuss it. Again, I feel like most of what we've been talking about is just a play-by-play of just kind of what happens, but it's so good. Like it's so charming. It's so wholesome.
Yeah.
I barely knew these characters, and I was like on the verge of tears at one point. Like, no. Like,
don't die, Grace. You're my favorite. Like exactly where it's like it's very wholesome. Like I liked it.
Such good vibes from this episode.
So yeah.
And I believe the other commander lady, she will probably be.
Yeah, she looks like she's gonna get her like standalone episode. Yeah, so
I actually think it's really cool that so much of the characters have been getting such equal screen time. Like obviously we've seen like different combinations of the characters, and obviously
you don't see all of them every episode.
Character, so he's in most of them. But it's really cool to like we've been seeing so much of all these characters because I really feel like some of them can fall through the cracks sometimes in shows like this.
Like the science guy. What is he?
He's Bill Nye, obviously.
Looks like you're the science guy now.
But yeah, again, I highly suggest this one.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. Like this one is a really fun one, and it's somewhat of a reference to Dyna's, but really its own thing.
It really is.
It took the monster
Dyna's idea and then like twisted it and put it on and like flipped it on its head.
Yeah, exactly. I just love that they still had the swords. But they were different swords, by the way.
Oh, were they?
Yes, they were different swords. I guess next up on the docket is
Docket?
Docket? You've never heard that?
No.
Yeah.
Next up on the docket?
Yeah. You've never heard that?
No.
Where it's like it's the next one up.
Adam, you just asked me the same. That was like the.
We were in a loop.
The same thing.
Did we just Bugs Bunny?
I don't know. I was confused. You looked like you weren't, and that concerned me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to word it. I'm very tired. I'm sorry.
It's fine. But yeah, no, Dawn Brothers.
Yeah.
This
A
was a
weird
weird
episode?
episode. Like,
Not like weird like I like some of the others, honestly. It's just kind of like, yeah, some stuff happened,
but why?
but why? Like, there was like this whole thing of like,
Yeah, like Taro was barely
I feel
in
like
it,
this was a fun episode and I enjoyed watching
and a big
it.
thing happened.
But it's only now that I'm about to talk about it that I'm like, what exactly is there to talk about? This
Yeah, like okay, wait. I guess the one thing we can talk about is it's all about this painting.
yeah, like there's
And
this girl and a painter, and because I feel like maybe we like this episode so much because we were theorizing the whole time of like, oh,
it felt like the painter guy from the episode where Kaji brother fucking kills him.
yeah, it was
We
the
thought
one
it was
that,
the
like,
same painter.
tied up Miho and everything.
Yeah, we thought that was the same painter, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, because I feel like he even said like when he was talking, they were talking about how much they love each other. He like talked about like bondage or something at some point. Like,
Yeah.
and not in the sexy way, but like, and like, oh yeah, because he like, no, you know what? The other guy was a hairstylist.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, because he tied her hands with hair.
No, wait, no, he was an artist. No, remember, because he was trying to sketch Kaido. No,
She was the hairdresser.
she was the hairdresser because he had long hair.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
by the way, this guy was an actor.
Did we even see his hair get longer at one point?
Yeah, we thought we were like, oh my god, we saw this guy die. So no,
Because
he was
dead in
not.
this
This
already.
was that one weird guy on the iPad in Amazon season 2. That's this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like this painter and this girl. She's like modeling for painting for him. They kind of sort of fall in love. He's
Yeah, they're
he
all after
dies.
this painting called The Secret.
Yeah, and like they were kind of secretly dating, so no one and he was gonna like tell her to like, oh, she gets the painting and whatever, but he ended up dying before he could do that. And
Yeah.
like it's
Somebody
just,
stole
there's
the
a series
painting.
of shenanigans. Like a bunch of them are at this auction house trying to buy this painting.
Like Kaido is trying to buy it. Kaji brother and
some
his
reason.
boss are trying to buy it for the president of their company.
Saru brother and Oni's sister were there to buy it for Kaido, though.
Yeah, Kaido just was like, "All right, peasants, go buy this painting for me."
Yeah. And and Kaji brother and his boss are buying the painting for their further up boss. And then there's
Tsubasa.
Tsubasa and this girl that was in the painting who's trying to get the painting back because it got stolen from her. Or, I believe.
Well, yeah. Well, not from her, but it was stolen.
Yeah. So, and they're all like, I must have this painting at any cost, you know?
It was a
And
fake.
like, yeah, it was a fake, but like, there was like, what, like 50 million yen?
Yeah,
or something
50
on it?
million yen.
Good God. Just.
Which still isn't near
it was-
close to $1 million in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Weird, huh?
Yeah, I guess with like. Oh, okay. But, I still. Can you imagine paying like $500 for a painting or something? Whatever it is?
Nope.
I can't
It better be a
imagine.
fucking original Picasso.
Well, that would probably be hard because he's dead.
That's fair. Well, this guy's dead.
Something they both have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
But anyway. So
But yeah, no,
it's fake and they have to.
but yeah, so this girl tries to
And then like apparently
Blackmail
taken by,
Tsubasa.
like,
some weird.
well, it wasn't that she was gonna blackmail him. She was just gonna be like, "Hey, everybody, the guy you're looking for is right here."
Oh, because he's a
You're, like,
wanted
yeah.
fugitive.
Punitive. And she like wants to be a Lupin Ranger, basically.
Which it almost feels like they were gonna set up that she should have a Lupin Ranger Hiroyutsuki, but she has the Denji Man Hiroyutsuki. Oh yeah, she's a monster. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, because of like the deep desire to.
Yeah, she's just like, I want the painting.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and like the assistant that was there, that was briefly, I think, was the one that was like selling it and trying to like play it off as like his or something.
Well, not even his. No, because the dude's a famous artist, and he just has it, and like he was making a fake one. Like he wasn't giving out
right.
the real one.
And then there's like a quick. I don't care about like the whole thing being spoiled, but like
He's a
and then
dickweed.
he like paints Oni's sister.
Oh
And then like
my!
she's like in the ending. She's
Are you
like,
really making me get a screenshot of this?
yes.
Oh,
And then Kaido sees that painting at the end of the episode. Is just like,
I don't want
I
it.
don't want this, and it is horrifying. She looks like an inflated Cabbage Patch garbage pail kid.
I don't even want to know what people are. I already know what some people are doing to the Oni sister, like Robotaro ass that we saw in this episode.
Yeah, we saw some monkey ass too. To be fair.
That sweet, sweet monkey cheeks.
Yeah, that's some of that.
So like I don't want to know what people were doing with that painting.
God.
But like, so yeah. Like, that's pretty much the whole thing. Like, Taro was barely in it until he, like, obviously Inoue brother gets tangled up in the monster.
Yeah, and they end up fighting him for, like, a minute.
Yeah, for, like because of the misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Which, because it's, like, they were pretty much like, hey, dingus, you know, you could have just beaten her and you could have still helped her so she didn't have to be a fucking monster the whole time, dumbass.
But we get, oh my gosh, what's the combination? I can't even remember.
Toradora go... No, Toradora Oni Taijin.
Okay. But,
yeah, they combine.
It looks cool.
Yeah,
looks great.
Toraval was just being a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's like, no, fuck you, you asshole.
Defeat the dude,
Like,
and then she finally gets like the painting, and no one cares that Inoue brother was fighting them 2 seconds ago, really.
well, yeah, they explain it. They figure out the dude's a dickwad.
And then she burns the painting because apparently.
Yeah, I literally was made the joke as soon as she got it, and I'm like, watch her burn it, and then she threw it in a fire, and I'm like,
a fire that wasn't there when you said that.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my god. That's pretty much it.
I mean, and then it's like, oh, like the secret behind the painting was the fact that
he loved her.
He loved her because, like, he deemed the painting a failure, and it was also his last piece of art, I think.
No, it was his first piece.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they said it was his first piece and it was lost.
Oh, but anyway, he deemed it a failure because he couldn't
express his love.
Yeah, he couldn't express his feelings, so he deemed it a failure, and he actually asked her to burn it, which is why she is, and they figure out the secret. And it looks like the interesting episode is going to be next week, honestly.
Oh, you mean Sanoi's funeral?
Yeah, like there's like a whole freaking thing of like Sanoi in a funeral, and I don't know. Momotaro
You're upset.
Momotaro was like wrestling shirtless with a guy.
As you do.
As you do.
As you do if you're Taro.
So it's like, I feel like this was a little bit of a filler episode. It was still good.
I had fun.
I'm just like, I thought this was gonna be the episode. I know I say it like a freaking billion times, like where they learn Tsubasa is Inoue brother, because I'm like, okay, they must put it together because they saw him with her as a person. They see that they saw him go through the door and everything, and they're not gonna put it together, like
come on.
And they don't.
And they didn't. But yeah, no, like overall, like yeah, that was just a very. There's nothing to talk about. Like it's a simple episode. Yeah. I can't see any points to really.
Pretty much a filler, but
like I'm about to say, there's nothing. Yeah, I'm about to say like I said, outside of like that actor being the artist, that's the best I got for this. I don't know why she was Denji Man. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, she had like a exploding motif or something.
Like well yeah.
I like the design with like the beakers mixing together.
Actually, it might have been Dynaman now that I'm thinking about it, because I think it's supposed to be baseball and they were like exploding. So I think that's actually Dynaman. I might be wrong.
Yeah, there isn't even really any news too. I'm realizing.
Nope.
Because you were like looking around because you usually talk about news.
But yeah, no. So I guess let's get to episode 2 of Geats.
I feel like this really was just like
this bamboozled me.
Yeah, like it was set up to bamboozle you, because we've had so much setup of.
Are we going to open up with this? By the way, if you have not put this together, we talk about spoilers in this show.
Yeah, this is. I feel like that's pretty evident at this point. I feel like it's hard to like get like what past 20 minutes of a show and not realize that it's like, there's a lot of spoilers in it. They're kind of talking about it like they just watched it.
That's fair.
This is also what episode whatever of it. I feel like if anyone's watching any sort of like continuity, and this is the very first episode that they're watching, they probably know by now. If it's your first time, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
But yeah, no. What'd you think of the opening?
I was focusing more on the visuals than I was
The song?
the music. From what I heard from the music or what I absorbed from it, it seemed fine. Like, it seemed like a very bumpin' song. When I listen to it more closely, I'll really get to judge whether I like it or not. A lot of the visuals were really cool in it, though.
Any visuals you want to stand out?
God.
Outside of Dan Pan being, like, giving off mad Michi energy.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he is going to kill somebody.
Yeah. I love that they had the, like, sitcom Full House, like, looking back at you, head turn kind of thing.
Well, did you see, like, all the people, like, as Geets is trying to drive on his bike, and, like, everyone's trying to grab him?
Yeah. And there's, like, the scoreboard that flashes on there briefly. And I theorized, I was like, how much you want to bet we're just going to see those names just, like, blink off, you know, as the series goes on to show who's alive and who's dead.
Yeah, which, you know, we lost a lot this episode.
Oh, yeah, that's about what I was expecting.
But yeah.
That's what you had to
It was a real... Oh, so wait, by the way, I will never forget, though. There's just a shot in the, in the intro where the, game navigator is aiming a gun at, Ace.
Damn.
Just literally just...
Oh, yeah. I like the barbed wire imagery. Usually I
like, the barbed wire's part of it.
Edgy, but then it's like, okay, it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, it's so edgy, but it's so good.
So good. It's good edgy. But yeah, we
get a
little bit of more of an idea of
the Desire Grand Prix starts anew.
By the way, there was a theory that I had that I forgot to share last episode because we saw Geets along with, you know, the kid and the girl hanging out, and I openly talked like, oh, do you think that they knew him in like a past
like he knew them
thing?
Yeah,
like
in a past world.
And they just don't remember him or something. I don't know if that would be true anymore because we learned a lot more this episode, and we have.
But it still could be true.
Possibly, depending on what his desire is. So, from what I can tell, like the whole thing with this is like.
From what we learned from the rules.
I don't remember the names of the monsters, but the red guys, you know,
the Jimudos or the genitals.
Whoa, no.
We're 35 minutes in. YouTube doesn't care.
Whoa. But so it's like from what I can tell, basically, what was it like? Every 6 months or so, they reset humanity's memory.
Yeah.
And it's because they don't want the public to be aware of these monsters' existence, because I think they're like kind of slowly infecting the planet. Or
trying to invade.
And the point of the Riders,
which I don't know if I believe that.
Game
yeah.
Is like, okay, you guys are going to be able to keep your memories because you're Riders, and you're also, the whole point of the game is to try and kill as many of them as possible.
And all of a sudden, so when we reset in the next 6 months, you get whatever you want.
Yeah, if you win, like, you get one free wish, baby. Like,
which we do find out, Ace's wish, because obviously he won last game, which I think maybe he wins all of these. We'll get into some of that a little bit later, but he wished to be in this world a superstar.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we open up with Tycoon's sister just being like, "Oh my god." Yeah, she doesn't remember anything, and he's just like, "Come on!" And then like Ace comes on the TV, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
It's Ace.
And then
he tries on the driver, and then he's in like the freaking desert place again.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's in the Triangle world, and they're just like, and there's just all these random people. Like there's like old ladies, an old man,
a wide variety of people.
None that got suits.
Yeah.
We focused on 6,
Seven.
7, 8.
I think there's 7 altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of where we learned some of the rules of how things function.
Yeah.
But we also they also say that the consequence of becoming a writer
Because
and
you find out the people can come back to life, obviously.
yeah, like obviously we've seen people come back to life because everything reset, but the consequence of becoming a writer and being able to keep your memories and be a part of the desire competition in the first place is if you die, you die for real, for keeps.
So Shiroi, rip. Rip, I thought they would find a way, which I can.
Damn, that was close. They advertised you and everything. They
Well,
made you a suit, and you died in the second episode. Goddamn, my boy.
oh no, I was talking about Polar Bear.
Oh.
Do you want to talk about who dies this episode outside of a lot of them?
I'm
Because
sorry.
first well, I'm shocked.
I thought that's
And
what
we
you were
will get to
talking
something.
about.
Well, I am, because like they were like, oh, the first mission is get an item, and then like halfway through,
Yeah, they're all like beating up the guys and getting the boxes and getting the little power ups.
yeah,
They're the Magnum, and the other one is out.
like magma, like Tycoon gets boost.
Boost, that was it.
Danpan has Magnum at the moment. Buffa, I'm imagining Buffa just beat the shit out of people until he got zombie.
Yeah.
Like honestly. And the other ones got whatever. My favorite part was Geets getting the water one and just using it just like a blunt pipe and beating people to death.
Yeah, but that was because like it was basically just a water squirter.
Yeah,
and it didn't have any pressure behind it.
He's like, I have no water source, therefore what do I...
I don't know if he said that. I just think he thought it wasn't working.
Well, yeah, he's just like, well, this sucks. Well, do this the old-fashioned way. Bludgeon you to death.
I mean, it was a pipe, and it made the pipe sounds when it hit them, so...
That was fucking...
It worked.
It was funny, though.
Yeah.
We
do see that, like, later they do kind of end up in water.
Yeah.
And he does use it, and we do see it, like, actually working. It has
a
hose that comes out, and that's pretty cool. And they even use it for, like, the final thing. Just to, like, mention that, I guess. So we can get into the other, like, plot things that happen.
So, in the Desire Grand Prix, they have you... Like, they set up each mission, so that, like we said, this first mission was to get an item. Mm-hmm. But before they did that, they all had to write on a note what their desire was. So, like we saw last time, Geets' original desire was to be famous. Mm-hmm. And so we find out, like, the only one that we do know right now, the only person's desire we know two people's desires, I guess. With Tycoon's being he wants world peace, like he mentioned last episode.
Yeah.
So there's that one. So yeah, like after they find out it's for keeps, they get the items and they go to the bar and like the butler Alfred guy shows up and he's just like, you guys can do as you please and have donuts.
Yeah, and then he gets...
Oh yeah, do we want to mention Mary at all? He's there.
That's the pink sheep one,
yeah,
right?
the sheep man who's hanging out with Neon.
Fun. I feel like it's kind of weird and a little icky, like how he keeps calling Neon like just like my little kitten.
That might be a translating thing, though.
I know, but I'm still like, dude, ew, stop. But
which, by the way, did you ever notice that?
I imagine it doesn't mean that, you know. But I'm just like, bruh.
Oh God. By the way, Nyago, Neon's cat, like, rider form, did you notice that, like, not only does she have, like, little, like, looks like little bracelets on her hands, but, like, her helmet looks like headphones?
I did see the headphones. I forgot to look for the bangles.
So. Yeah, it's fine. But, yeah, so they're pretty much all chilling out, the 7 of them.
And then that...
Like,
a little rotary phone rings, and Alfred goes and answers, and there's an emergency.
Yeah. Wait, do we want to mention Genpen real quick?
Sure, like, because we learned his desire, too.
Is, like, yeah, his desire was, like, he's like, oh, I have a son, and he's sick, and I need to win.
Illness.
Yeah,
I want my son to be healthy.
Yeah, so he wanted to
I have to win at every cost. So you can imagine.
Yeah, so you're just like, well, after we read his thing, we were like, well, you're dying.
Yeah, like, we were like, well, this guy's gonna die, definitely.
And, you know,
He dies.
He dies.
In episode 2, I was not expecting
Like,
it to
yeah.
be that soon.
Exactly. We were like, well, maybe near Christmas he'll die, and no.
Just immediately.
Like, as soon as he drops his picture, you're like, oh fuck, you're dead now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the bow and arrow. I think it's bad luck.
Cursed. It's bad luck.
Don't use it.
I...
If you get it, that's the death item.
Okay, please stop spitting on me.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Jesus. But, so, there's an emergency. And what happened was, like, the chief of the little bad grunt dudes.
Yeah, the thief.
Whatever.
The thief type.
Like, he had escaped, and they're like, okay, we need this to stop. We have an emergency thing. We're stopping the last challenge. All the people that weren't able to get a power-up in time, they lose. And then it shows all of these, like, freaking
it goes
darken, and it's like there's only 7 of them left.
Yeah. So we went from who knows how many. Well, I guess we could count them, but I'm not gonna waste my time. To 7.
And if you remember what we said earlier, them's fuckers dead, and they are not coming back.
Yeah. So, rip all of them. Yeah.
And then, by the way, like this death scene, because that's what happened a little bit next. This was straight Toei Spider-Man, right?
Like it felt like it.
I felt like I was.
Well, it's like
we had watched that recently.
Well, yeah, and like Tycoon himself, even though it's obviously not his dad or whatever, but like Tycoon is like contemplating. He's like, do we really have to fight to like do this? Do we really have to fight each other? Like what the?
He just dies in his arms.
Yeah, he dies in his arms, and he's like, oh my god. He's like, why did you? He's like, really? Did you have to go this far? He's like, I had to. He's like, I had to do this. He's like, I have no other way to do this, and it's just like, you know, you get to see all of that.
But and then.
Oh, you're getting into what I think you are.
And then that's when Geets comes up to him, and he's just like,
this fucker.
Oh, you wish for world peace. I wished for all the unlucky children of the world, which I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to even mean. And we immediately started, like, theorizing, like, okay, he just had a very, like...
Selfish
surface level wish. I want to be a superstar. Instead of asking for something like that.
World peace.
Where's this coming from? And, like, we started going back and forth of, oh, like, maybe, like, what would his desire be this time? Because I had mentioned, oh, he asked for something really superficial, and then he had a dinner with the game lady.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, oh, you got what you wanted, but you still don't seem happy. And now he's talking like this. I was like, oh, I wonder what his desire was. Like, oh, maybe it was, like, he wants to just lose the game, or maybe he, like...
Yeah, like, he's won so many... Like, who knows how many times he's won?
Or just, like, I want someone that's finally good enough to take my place, or something like that.
Well, it's like... And I think there was a really good line, and I think you pointed it out while we were watching it, but, like, where he's just like... He's like, it doesn't matter what any of you guys want. I'm gonna be, like...
I'm gonna be the one to... But that's way later, dude.
Is that later? I thought that was...
The thing.
I thought it was in the design.
Point.
Okay, go to your point.
You, like, skipped over, like, the whole thing I was building up to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I didn't mean to.
So anyway, the freaking, like, the Chief Red dude comes by.
Evil Monster Man.
And then of course, I don't know the main kid's name. I don't know what to call him.
Tycoon?
Sure,
yeah.
I'll go with that for now. And he remembers Geet saving him, and he has what he knows he can use. And he's just like, come on, for the children of the world, or whatever. And he's like, and then he, like, gives it to him. He's all happy and celebrating and, like, dancing in the background for him.
He's like, yeah.
And he beats the hell out of it. And Geets is like, gotcha, bitch.
He's like, I knew that'd work, bitch.
I knew if I gave you a sob story, you'd fall for it. And then he tries to take it back, and that turns out that thing is a one-use
item, so you have to get it again.
Yeah. And I was like, this motherfucker.
This sly.
I accidentally called this, like, 5 seconds before it happened.
Yeah.
Because it was like the second like things were settling down, I was just like, Adam, what if you played him?
Yeah, that was just like the
And then it immediately happened. I was like, oh my god.
Like, it was like, it's been a while since we've had like an asshole of a main writer.
This guy gave Decade a run for his money. That he said that one line that you were pointing out. See, this is what you skipped.
See, yeah. Well, yeah, but it's
this
like...
This is why I have to be here. To try and keep things online.
Oh, okay.
Not online. Oh, wait, that means... I didn't mean that.
But...
I try to keep things, like, on track.
Yeah, but, like...
It's a very different thing.
But, like, I think it's so funny that, like... He just tricked him, and we're just like, dude, don't hand him the buckle, just help him. You know, you don't have to hand it to him. And then he's just like, just give it to me.
Yeah, so basically, he's a cutthroat bitch.
Yeah.
And, for whatever reason, I was not expecting them to have, like, the fact that he's a fox play into it.
Yeah, he's like, hey, don't you know you never should trust a fox? Fuck you.
And I was just like, I didn't even think of that. What the hell?
Well, yeah, and it's like, I think it's really interesting because not only do we find out that, but obviously everyone's memories get erased of everything. I think almost every
game, basically.
Every game, but, like, the world doesn't reset. But...
They just lose their memories and their desire is granted.
And their memories... are re-granted to them when they get the
ID core.
Their ID core, which I guess a lot of people were guessing that not everyone was gonna have their memories back, but it's really interesting because now it makes you really wonder how long not only Ace has been doing it, but how long Buffa's been doing it.
Yeah, because he knows
like him and
just as
Geets.
much what's going on.
Well, yeah.
By the way, they've really played us to just being like, oh, Geets is like the cool main character guy, and Buffa is just like that bitter
that
guy.
Cold,
he's just mad.
And he calls everybody by their rider names instead of their real names because he's just like, that cool.
And we're like, oh, maybe he's actually just like the more rational one, and he just knows Geets is a fuck.
Yeah, he's just like, he's like, I just keep fucking losing to this fucker.
I also want to call right now. Again, this is episode 2. I know nothing if you are listening in the future. I was like, what if Buffa has a very similar desire of world peace, but he just hasn't been able to do it because Geets keeps fucking winning.
Well, yeah, because
but he doesn't die, so he keeps on playing, and he hasn't been able to win yet.
But he keeps getting second place.
He's getting second place.
Like, and the thing is, I like how almost I feel like Geets is playing.
That's my guess.
Yeah,
now.
But I could be wrong because now I'm realizing maybe he was pointing out somebody and they were just like trying to disillusion you to who has what. But like Buffa even says after all of them show like the last 7 of them show up and is just like, oh yeah, Danpan has the buckle. Like it seems like he was pointing out Danpan. He's like, that's the buckle you want, the Magnum buckle. Where it's like maybe he was real, and it's like maybe even Buffa doesn't know that the boost one is like broken as shit. You can start like backwards long jumping everywhere.
Yeah, he's just you even said, oh, I wonder if he like cut down a couple people just so that he could get the zombie.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, do you think he's above killing people? He's just like, fuck it.
But yeah, and then we go actually to the guy's son.
Yeah,
and
who got his transplant.
I'm only realizing this now that we're talking about it, because what happens is they're like, oh, we can finally do your son's surgery. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah, we had an anonymous donation by like the anonymous fox, and we see Geets like walking
the nameless fox, yeah.
The nameless fox, and we see Geets walking out.
Well, yeah.
It's like, okay, it's obvious that he gave the money. It's like, okay, so he's not a completely stone cold, I guess.
He's not gonna leave the sick child.
But you know what I realized? Maybe this was a translating thing, maybe this was a mess up, or I don't know. Well, he said his son had an incurable disease, and it's like, oh, we can finally do his surgery, which makes it sound like it was more, oh, they just couldn't afford to get him the surgery he needed, and didn't have an incurable disease, because I feel like that's 2 very different things.
What happens if they're transplanting his brain into a new body, Stormy? You can't be...
I don't know if they've actually done that yet, because of ethics.
This is Kamen Rider. Ethics is out the window.
Yeah, ethics is out. Well, so it's like, I it's like, wow, you really threw a lot of emotions at us. Like, just
Well, it's like, wow, you took us to an emotional roller coaster.
She did ask, Tanuki did ask, hey, can we wish other players back? Can I wish desire, oh my god, I can't speak. Can they come back to life? And she's like, only if that's your desire.
She's like, whatever your desire is.
It makes me also wonder if Geets, like, I think you would pose the idea of what if Geets just had a desire that, like, completely broke the game.
Exactly.
Like, maybe you had a couple ideas. I remember one of mine was, oh, what if his first desire was, I can never lose the desire game or something? Because they even kept mentioning, like, oh, it looks like you're out of luck this time. Oh, it looks like you're not lucky this time.
Yeah, exactly. They're always mentioning luck, which makes sense for this being a death game.
Yeah.
Which they've really kept to in these first 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think we're gonna get any more kills for a little bit. I could be wrong. But, like... I was not expecting this many. I was expecting to have some fodder riders, but I was expecting them not to have any advertising time because they're gonna be one and dones. No, apparently the ones
they killed all of the ones that you don't see, and even one of the ones that was advertised. I wonder if we're actually going to see a couple of games now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we've seen like, oh, it's possible to like.
We already saw an ending of the other game, yeah.
It's possible to not die and have everything be reset. So it makes me wonder if we're actually going to see a couple, because this seems to be moving very fast.
I wonder if somebody... Because we also saw that, like you can get...
watch Geets win a couple times before anyone else gets a shot.
But if you don't follow the rules, they can kill you on the spot.
Yeah, they just delete you.
Which... That's another interesting spot. So I wonder if somebody's gonna break the rules.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna see him get Thanos.
Or
her. But anyway, did you see? No, I didn't even think about that. But that could be cool if that's what they do.
Like if somebody breaks the rules.
No, well, yes, but it's just we see a couple of it already. Because usually,
that could be really
this,
cool.
It's like, oh, especially because it's a death game, and usually it's the last one standing and all that. It's like, oh, throughout all of the rounds, we get to see...
Yeah, because here's the thing. We already know that this one isn't necessarily the last man standing.
Like, we get more information as it goes, like, along with them.
Yeah.
Just, usually that's only over, like, the course of a single round. So I guess that's kind of what I went into, because it's a death game, but...
Yeah, and... Honestly... I think it was a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. Like, I liked it. Like I said, I was laughing hysterically when he was just like, I'm just gonna bludgeon these fuckers to death.
There's a lot of good stuff in this. There's
I like the characters so far.
I feel bamboozled, and I kind of love that I got bamboozled.
I wasn't expecting Ace to be this much of a fucking asshole, and I kind of love that aspect.
But like, I feel like they did show a little bit of depth of like, oh yeah, but he namelessly.
He's outwardly an asshole. Well, it's almost like he's trying to keep a persona.
That's very true.
Like, you know what I mean? And he's using a mask persona.
You still don't understand what the coin is, though.
Yeah, like, again, I want to know, is he going to be really old? Is he still going to be old? Like...
Did he wish to be Did he wish to be immortal?
Immortal?
Did he wish to be immortal?
Like, who knows?
Desire
again, I still want to know, like, how long have they been doing it? And if I really do hope Buffa has been playing as long as Geets, because they're supposed to be rivals.
I would love that.
And, like, he's just mad, and he's just been like, I've been playing since day fucking what? Like, they're, like, if he is, like, immortal or super old, like, Buffa's just as old, and he's like, I'm fucking tired of this fucking asshole winning all the time.
I don't know if it's like, maybe Geets is immortal, and then he's also just been playing for a long time. I don't know if that would be possible, because, like, time still runs through the resets. They just lose their memories.
I guess. Or they get transplanted memories.
If they want it to, like, go back in time, someone would have to desire to go back in time. Like they're still going forward in time, they just lose their memories and it just resets.
I guess.
They're still gonna age.
I guess. We'll have to see. I can't wait to see. Like, honestly.
Or at least I think so.
Yeah, who knows? This could change. We could find out this is all simulation.
I feel like
this is a little more sinister.
You literally really just waited for me to talk.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
This would make a really good VR game.
This could be,
like,
yeah.
I can see this being like a mixture of like
I need a
some
first
sort of
person
first
writer.
person like PUBG, but like with Common Writer stuff, and it's. I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah, that could
they
be cool.
They even have the dome.
The Doom! Which, like, that's why I don't trust where these monsters are coming from. I don't think they're invaders. I don't think they're invaders. I don't know if I can trust the Grand Prix.
I feel like at one point I theorized, oh, what if all of the grunts are like the past riders that died?
Yeah.
If that's why they're wearing like people clothes?
Yeah, like, there's so much more to
fake.
question.
It seems fake, like, a lot of, like, how she was talking and everything.
Well, it's like...
It felt like she was, like, giving a tutorial, like, in a fucking video game.
Well, yeah, she's the game
on
navigator.
Purpose. No, I'm not saying, like, the actress delivered it bad. I'm saying, like, it sounded on purpose.
Well, it's like she never changed her tone. Yeah. Like, she never acted almost human. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you've had her, like, sass Geets and whatever, but, like...
She seems like a person, but, like, she basically went, like, full AI for a second.
Well, like, whenever she's presenting the rules and all of this, it's like...
Well,
because that's her job, I guess. So it's like... Well, it's like, when she's delivering drivers and Geets is just being like, hey, hot legs, what are you doing?
Oh my god, hot legs.
You've never heard that before?
No.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fun episode.
This looks really good. This looks really solid. Lots of good
Rip
stuff.
Genpen.
Yeah.
Rip Genpen.
Oh, three good episodes.
Yeah, I think this was a good week, a fun week.
We finally didn't have to double up.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get better at this. So, I guess any final thoughts?
Thought. I mean, Geets is still pretty fresh. How did you react to all the
driver's fun? I like that.
Yeah, he's been playing with it constantly.
I'm getting ready for the review.
Been playing with his driver. But definitely let us know like how you guys reacted to these like twists and turns, because again, it just full on like got us. So
yeah, like were you guys expecting Genpen to be dead? Episode 2.
Lord knows I wasn't.
Like he debuted the same episode he died in.
And then we just saw like a swath of corpses.
Yeah. Well, the funny part was,
maybe we didn't see
like we all knew Genpen was gonna die because they were like, "Oh, he has a 6th son." You're just like, "Motherfucker's dead," and then all of a sudden you're not expecting it to be like, "Ha! I can't wait to see him die." I wasn't meaning this quick.
Oh God! I guess it's almost smart if you think about it, because that way it's like
nobody's safe.
it makes it feel more unexpected. Again, it's just like they're moving so fast paced. Well, so that's why it makes me think like, oh, maybe we'll get more than one, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they would drag it out with them already like slicing that many writers off.
And here's something I noticed, and I don't know if Mary has this, so Mary might be another one that might be able to die eventually.
That would probably be my guess.
Because I'm realizing something about all the writers that are at least staying alive. They all have like an article of like cloth or something. Like Geets has his scarf, Buffett has a side skirt, Tycoon has like a green little band around his hip, and Niago has the little bracelets I was talking about, like the little scrunchy bracelets looking things, gauntlets. So it's like they all have those. So that at least to me significantly knows that there's design cues. So these are going to stick around because they want these to get stuck out.
Yeah, there's more of a difference.
And like you think about Shiroi or Genpan, which also Danpan. I don't know if Danpan has one. I didn't see Danpan's, but like.
And it was cool to see that there actually are like a limited number of like these ID cores. It just changes who gets them based off of who dies.
Well, I think they make new ones. I don't think any of them repeated.
No, I saw like the old one. Like there's like giraffe and everything. Like we saw, and it was.
But new colored.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's like technically sometimes they change animals.
Whatever.
Like we had a polar bear last game and panda this game. I don't know. But you're probably right. Like I bet you they just repainted the logos. But you're right. We do just get repeats of animals. Do you expect them to design like 100 logos?
No, that's not the point. That's not what I was trying to talk about.
I know.
I wasn't paying attention to the colors. Wasn't what I was looking for.
Okay. But yeah, apparently there are a bunch of references in that game board, so...
Yeah, you said it was like a bunch of like...
actors, I think.
Actors.
So, I guess that's it.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. I can't wait for more Geats just to see more of what's going on. This is
I can't wait to see Geets be
really
an
strong
asshole
start.
more.
Really strong start.
Yeah.
Really strong.
I like it. So,
Thank you so much for listening. This was a long one.
Yes. Well, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. So, until whatever any of us do next, thank you so much for watching. Bye.